everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Ingrid Karazinger coming to you with Victoria Alvarado, and she is going to be talking to us a little bit about her work as a psychic, as a spiritual counselor. And thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in and we will see if we can answer them for you. So welcome, Victoria.
Thank you so much for having me and welcome me into your home. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for being on our show. And you are also the first guest on the show, so that's quite exciting. So this show is about positive impact, and it's really about focusing on those people that work, that their careers are about helping people, helping the world. And I feel like in the media there's just not enough of that focus on the people that are actually really trying to do some good. Mm-hmm. We always see the CEOs, or who's in trouble next, what business is failing, or what's going on in other countries. And I feel like it's really important to look at the humanitarian side of our race of humans and see what good are we doing, and those of us who sacrifice quite a bit to do the work that we do, because I believe that there's personal sacrifice in these fields that people aren't aware of. So we're going to take an up close and personal look and really dive deep into the heart of people like Victoria and what she does. So tell us a little bit about your work.
Well, I can say this is that I know that you probably had some problems in your life. I've had some problems in my life that come up that were beyond my control. And sometimes when you're fixated in the situation, sometimes we need somebody outside the box to tell us what we need to hear, or to tell us it's going to be okay, or empower us. So that's what I come in, is that I use my intuitive gifts to help people see the bigger picture in their problems, whether it's about love, whether it's about their relationship, whether it's about their career, their job, or even if they're grieving and they need to connect to their loved one on the other side, to let them, just so that they can hear that they're okay. That's what I do, is that I'm here to impact the world in a positive way so that we can move through our obstacles and move through our journey called life happy and content, and knowing that we can have peace of mind, right? Mm-hmm. Happiness, but we may need to have a little help sometimes. So that's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for.
Right. So you're a guide. I mean, you really help people to connect with something that maybe they just don't know how to connect to themselves, and you can be that conduit.
Exactly. And so, I use my gifts of being a clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, and I'm clairsentient, which means that when my clients come in, I don't want to know what's going on with them. I automatically tune into their vibration, and then the angels start sending me pictures. I can hear words, and I put all of it together to see the picture as a whole and tell my client, this is what's going on, this is what I'm seeing, does this make sense to you? And normally they're like, yes, oh my God. And so then we can talk about the situation, because it's better to release that energy when you allow your client to talk about things that they feel they can't talk about with other people. And for you to understand what's going on without them saying anything gives them a sense of release, if that makes sense.
Yes, definitely. And I see, I work in the field that you do, and I do see that, if nothing else, the most important thing for those clients is that they have somebody looking at them and really seeing them. Right. So I think people walk around so often without anybody really caring about them or looking into their soul,
or being understood. Mm-hmm. It's about being understood. It's about having that clarity. It's about having that validity that it's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Even when all you see is nothing but darkness, you need to have someone on the outside looking in to tell you, hey, look, whatever you're worried about, don't, because God has your side. And this is why I consider myself more of a spiritual counselor, because honestly, I counsel people, but I counsel people on the spirit, on a spirit level. Because in the spirit level, subconsciously, this is where the healing begins. Does that make sense?
Right. It's true. And I really feel like it's so important that there's more people like you. I mean, there are, therapists, counselors, psychotherapists, psychiatrists, and I feel that they all have a valid place in our lives, in society. But one thing that this particular work doesn't have is that kind of support. Not that kind of support from society or even with each other. We don't have an institution that that gathers around us and pushes us out into the world and says, here, you're doing a great job. So we really are left with being our own support system. Mm-hmm. And so when we're helping others, it's so important for, I think, people to understand that we're coming from a place of great strength to even do the work.
Right, and we're coming from a place of love. And I have to say this, is that I've met a couple psychotherapists or a couple therapists, counselors. They also say that they use their intuition, but they don't ever say it.
Right.
Because they don't want to throw the client off or feel judged or someone, because it's almost like doing this work, people don't understand that it's so much harder for us because, one, you have those that are in denial, that say, oh no, this is the work of the devil, or you're doing something wrong. But really, we're all here coming from a place of love and compassion to help each other, no matter how it's coming through, whether it's from spirit, through our intuition, whether it's from your career and you learning, say for instance, you became a psychologist, whether you're using your teachings. Spirit really honestly uses our database to help other people. Does that make sense?
Right.
So, and let me just say, and the reason why I say that is because I went to school to be a psychologist. Mm-hmm. And somehow that learning stuck in my database where now whenever I talk to my clients, I remember the anatomy of the body, the childhood stuff, things that go up. And so it's like, it helps me to be a better psychic, a better medium, a better channel for my client.
That makes sense. And also, there is a stigma around psychics, and it's kind of either, are you coming from a dark place, from the devil? I mean, where are you getting this? And there is a lot of that, isn't there, when you're in this work?
Oh, yes. But, I feel like it's twofold. One is that it's because of people being judgmental. It comes from limiting beliefs or religious beliefs. And it also comes from fear and not understanding. But at the same time, we know that there have been psychics like Miss Cleo, like that has given those that have a true calling, that have a true gift. It's like we have to work much harder. And we have to work through the adversity and to be so much stronger to pursue our life's purpose as healers. Because no matter how you look at it, whether you see it as the psychic helping you tell your future, past, present, or a medium who's helping you to connect with your loved ones in heaven and helping you with grief, isn't it all about healing? That's what it comes down to.
Definitely. And I feel like right now, the way the world is, there's so much awakening happening. And I think there's a lot more people out there who are interested in, connecting with spirit in a very new way than maybe 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I feel like there's kind of a growing need to understand and connect with people like you. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like over time that you've had more clients or more interest?
I've noticed that I start getting a lot of clients that are first timers, that they've never thought that they would do something like this, but something compelled them to contact me. And I always start my prayer every day to Spirit, bring me the people that you need me to help, that are open or will be open to receiving. And like I said, I had one lady that she said she was looking for a house. literally on the internet looking for a house, and my picture popped up with my number. And she's like, oh, I need to call her. And so she called me, and I started talking to her about this house and the house she was about to purchase. She said she did not even believe in this type of stuff, but she felt this sudden urge. I'm like, yeah, my angels do that. They bring the people that I need to help. And at that moment, I can feel that the Band-Aid or the mask in her third eye was lifted. She was awakened. So that's what our job is here, is to awaken so many more people so that we can have a peaceful life and world, you know, a humanity filled with harmony. And that's what it means to be awakened, is because now we know what it means for unconditional love and to heal the world, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So tell me when this all started for you.
So, as far as I can remember, well, from my family tell me I was 5 years old. Now, I remember having an invisible friend. Her name was Sabrina. Okay, and I just played with her all the time. And my mom thought it was normal because I was the only child. But then when I started saying stuff like, hey, guys, something bad's about to happen, blah, 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 blah. And then it happened. And then when it started happening more, they were like, just shut up. And so I stopped, but then it was like I had another dream of the angels coming to visit me again, telling me that I needed to fulfill a certain purpose. I saw a big white light, and I started talking to God, and He told me it's time for you to go into action. So it was around 17 years old when I guess I woke up again, and I started hearing people calling my name, even though I was alone in the house. And I would yell out, yeah. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I was like, do I need to call 911? Somebody's in this house. So it's like I had to remember. Slowly it started to be reminded of that time when I was 5 years old, that I had my angels talking to me. And ever since then, ever since I was 17 years old, I started working more and more on my gifts.
Okay. So you would say it's something that kind of happened to you as opposed to you seeking it out.
Right.
Okay. Calling.
Like a calling, yes. And there have been so many times that I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm done. But then all of a sudden, they start coming to me in my dreams and telling me, well, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. This is. And I'm like, okay, you're telling me I can't stop, Spirit. Like, this is my calling. This is my soul's purpose, is to be here because God has a plan for me. And so I had to just fully let go and allow Spirit to work through me as a channel of light. So, and it's so funny, as I'm sitting here with you, I keep hearing the song Francis of Assisi's. Have you heard that song, Make Me a Channel of Your Peace? Where there is anger, let me bring love. This is a song that I keep hearing as we're sitting here now. So it's like a validation for you too.
That's beautiful. I've always had an interest in Assisi. I always felt very connected.
He's here, here. He is so here right now, like very strongly, that I keep feeling it and keep hearing it. So I feel like maybe this is a validation for you or a message for you.
The first time I saw St. Francis, the statue, and he was holding animals, I was immediately drawn. Like, who is this? It felt so. It was like Mother Nature. It felt like someone who accepted all, animals, people, that brought everybody and loved everybody. And I do have several animals in my house and children, and so I always connected with that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So at this point in your life, what is your favorite thing about your work? What do you enjoy the most?
I would say what I enjoy the most is when clients tell me that I help them. Because there have been times where I felt like I'm just not doing a good enough job. Maybe I'm not connected, or maybe, because you doubt yourself sometimes. Yeah. But it's so funny how Spirit will come to remind you that you are helping. You are a channel. And for me to see someone's life that was in so much turmoil and grief come to me and say, Victoria, you really helped me, that makes my life worth living, knowing that I took on the willingness to help others and put other people's needs before my own, and knowing that it helped makes me happy, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. I relate to that. I think that we need that validation, especially in a field like this. You know, you have a doctor who does surgery and the person doesn't die. Their validation is, hey, I did a good job.
Right.
And for us, you know, we need that, because sometimes we'll have clients walk out and maybe they won't say anything, but their life changes. Who knows? And sometimes we never know.
Right.
So we think, man, you know, what happened?
Right.
You know?
Did
they
I
just
help
stared
them?
at us the whole time.
Right,
We don't know.
Did I help them? I mean, was I connected or something? And then you get a review and it's like, oh wow, that was powerful. And again, like I said, this job is very difficult. It's because we have to endure so much. We get people that are attacking us. We get people that say that, oh, you're the devil, that you're not supposed to talk to angels, you're not supposed to do this and do that. But yet our willingness to serve and deal with these obstacles, our willingness to overcome that makes us so much more stronger and powerful as a healer, because we are superseding those obstacles that are meant to keep us down.
Right.
And so we keep helping people and we keep doing our job, that regardless of what people are saying to us, those people may not be awoken, but they will in time.
Right. And I guess we just have to constantly validate ourselves or support ourselves, and angels, you know, sometimes God will bring that message in. No, everything's fine. Keep going, stay the course.
Right. It was just like Jesus. I mean, you know, oh my God, you gotta love him. I mean, he stayed on his path, he stayed on his course, but he had people attacking him. He had people in the church attacking him, telling him, no, you're not supposed to be doing it. He had people that were trying to stop him, but he kept going anyway. He stayed in his faith. He knew what his purpose was, and that was to help other people. So it's almost like, so I can't expect it to be easy for me. I mean, Jesus, he went through this a lot worse. I mean, they killed him,
Right.
you know, but people woke up. There are people who listen, and people that he touched, people that he saved and cured and helped. Little by little, I'm being told right now, one by one, reach people one by one. And as I said to God the other day, if I live here and I do this, if all I've ever touched was 10 people and I helped them, then, and that was probably my purpose, was to open 10 people and to guide them and help them, then that I fulfilled my purpose. Because we go one by one.
Right. That's beautiful. It's like a ripple in a pond.
Right.
You know, because each person that you help also knows hundreds of people, and so they may go on to help someone else. So we don't always know the vastness of what we've created.
Right.
So that's a beautiful message, just to focus on that one.
Focus on that one.
One at a time.
Right.
So as far as moving forward, what do you see for yourself? Is there anything that you want for yourself in your career or in your life that moving forward you'd like to expand, or do you like the way things are going?
Well, I've been doing some psychic detective work. I went through a class through Pam Coronado and I got my certification. And when I tell you, I thought that you were connected on the medium side, I'm thinking, oh, I'm a medium, I can do this. But when you take the class and it's not about mediumship, it's about the psychic side, you learn so much from that. Yes, it's more, there's more danger to that because you're not sure because you're doing criminal cases. So you're not sure what's going on. It's more emotional because you have to feel and sense what's happened. But I've been doing a lot more of that type of work. I've also asked Spirit to help me expand my work and to get me out there so that I can bring more people in and so I can reach them. And just so happens that they have me on the radio more, they have me on TV more, I'm doing a reality TV show.
That's great.
All these things, and I'm just kind of like, wait a minute. Like, slow it down. I said bring me more people. I didn't think you were going to do all this. So it's all about expansion and trying to help more people is what I focus on the most.
So what is the reality show that's coming up?
So the reality TV show that I'm working on now, I only make like 1 or 2, maybe 3 appearances, but it's about several young ladies that are becoming Houston. In other words, they started from nothing and worked themselves up to something, to work themselves up into a successful beautician with her salon. You have another girl who works with beauty pageants and how she struggles through that to build it and grow it. So everyone has a different take on their lives, and they go through problems as well. And so my job is I come in and I counsel them. And I don't know these girls at all. As I said, so I've only been on there twice, but I don't know the girls at all, and I'm just telling them things that they need to hear so that they can emotionally heal, so they can carry on moving forward doing what they're doing.
That's great. Wow. And when is that going to be coming out? Do you know?
As far as I know, I was told that it's already been picked up and it's set to air in the spring.
Great. All right. So we check your website to find out about all the happenings, everything you're going to be doing.
Yes.
And that is, you want to give the website?
Sure. The website is www.victoriaalvarado.com.
Okay, great. And is there anything else you want to share with us about your work, about any kind of message you want to give to people to get to know you a little bit better?
Well, I'm going to be doing group healing events. I've already done that so far. As soon as I find a venue, I will be announcing it on my website. You guys can come in to receive many messages from Spirit and receive healing globally, or everyone in the room. Sort of like gallery events, much like Teresa Caputo or James Van Praagh. I'm going to be doing things like that. But not just mediumship, it's also going to be giving you messages based on your needs at that moment and giving you a healing.
Wonderful. That's exciting. All right, so check back on her website, and you can always type in your questions or comments here, and she'll be able to address them on Facebook. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I think we got to know you a whole lot better.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully everybody got to know a little bit more about this line of work and what it's like to be, a real life superstar. I feel that working in service like this, that we are the superstars. You see people who are acting, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie kind of situation where you have these actors that are so famous because they're really good at pretending to be somebody. And I'm thinking, what about the real superstars, the people who have their whole life about service? Mm-hmm. To me, that is the most beautiful thing. So thank you so much for bringing that light and for working toward the better of humanity.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you all. And thanks for tuning in. Again, if you had any comments or questions, you can always leave those with us, and we'll try to get back to you on them. Thanks again. Have a great day.